Hello there, Big Benedict here. We're playing God of War Ascension on Titan difficulty, and this is my No Upgrade Run Plus. We're currently on Chapter 8 of 30. It is entitled The Python's Belly. So we get a new upgrade here, and it's always a woman's voice that gives you, that talks over the items that you get, and they really do say the lamest things. For instance, on this one it says, "For those who have eyes to see, I offer you the lightning of Zeus." So I mean that is so dull, and that's the only thing you could think of for that, and there's no explanation. Right off the bat, she's discriminating against blind people too. But at the end of the last video, I was mentioning that we're gonna go over the moves with the shield. But I do want to say that for this fight, you want to go to the area right where I'm at right now, and you want to camera whore in that area, and throw any of the satyrs out of this area, and then you can just spirit whore, or do whatever you need to. But the shield, it has moves that were not intended by the people that made it, I don't think. But the shield, the move that it does have, that's, I think it's published, is to hold the circle button down, and it does a charge that when it stops, it does a swipe for the attack, and it damages enemies as Kratos is charging with it. I don't use that move hardly ever, but sometimes you might see me use it. Whenever I think to use it, I might use it in the walkthrough. But the two moves that it has, and it really only has one move that I spend my time using. That's the second move that I'll talk about. But I wanted to talk about the Shield Valor first, because that ends with a light finisher. But when you use the shield, the two combos that it has, that, like I said, I don't think are published, are circle, circle, square, and he does the shield valor. And then that, of course, is an allusion to a move that was in the earlier God of War games, namely the Valor of Hercules. And the Valor of Hercules was done by pressing triangle, triangle, square. So it's a familiar move if you've played the games and you've messed around with the moves. But that is called. I've heard that they were discovered before the game came out. I think Big V mentioned that before the game came out, he already found that, or maybe in the demo people found it. But I never played the demo. But the other move that it does, and it's the truly great move of the game. It's the shield plume. That is done by pressing circle, circle, triangle, and that move, it ends with a heavy finisher, and that is, of course, an allusion to the plume of Prometheus. We're just calling it the shield plume. I didn't find those moves. I didn't name them. I'm pretty sure Big V found those and named them. Just like he named Captain Planet. The Captain Planet glitch, that was the best name he could have ever picked, because it's so great. And we'll talk about it later. I spend a long time using in this walkthrough. I use it all the time. It's so great of a move, because it's much safer, stronger, faster, and just altogether better than the Plume of Prometheus. And that's really important, especially when I'm doing fights and I can't suffer to take any damage. And when I did a little bit of testing with it, and the Plume of Prometheus versus the shield plume, I don't have any hard data for what I found, but just by looking at the frames, the number of frames when I captured some footage and looked at it in Sony Vegas just out of curiosity, I found that and I'm probably wrong, but I found that the plume of Prometheus had 5 times the amount of recovery frames than the shield plume had. And that sounds like really high, so I don't like to say that it has 5, but if I had to say, it at least has 3 times as many recovery frames than the plume of Prometheus. The plume of Prometheus has a ton of recovery frames, just like square. Which is it just, that move messes me up a lot in this game. But the plume of Prometheus, I'm sorry, the shield plume will give you a lot of rage buildup. So much so that on Castor and Pollux, 1 shield plume gives your rage such a boost that it fills the entire meter with just 1 circle triangle. So, and you could also build rage off of chests, because you can build rage off of chests with just square triangle. It builds a minuscule amount of rage, but if you do the shield plume on chests, that maybe chests are in the environment, like with the fight, because some fights will have chests, and if you want to safely build up your rage, you can build up rage off of a fucking chest, and you get quite a lot of rage build up off of a chest. You'll see me do it a lot on the walkthrough too. But this fight over here, I have to say, is horrible, because there are little to no ring out options for these manticores, and I hate this enemy because it's a nuisance, a pest essentially of an enemy, and it takes him like 7 grabs to kill it. Sorry. So what I'm gonna do is, once I get the grip point, the green sparkling grip point in the distance on the snake, I'm gonna leave this fight. The manticore babe that spawns off of the snake, where the grip point spawns, that one can be wrung out if you attack it before it gets over to this platform. But these ones can't be wrung out for some reason, or the dogs. So very, very upsetting that happens. So the shield plume, you really should try it out. And also having the shield enables you to do a high jump, and you can do a lot of sequence breaking with it, and altogether just breaking the environment, skipping some cutscenes in some instances, and it's kind of a hard combination of buttons for me personally, but it's circle, X, X, but I'm telling you, between the second circle and the first X of that combo, you almost have to press the first X before you even stop pressing the circle button. I find it just really difficult to pull it off, but I only do that move when there's a benefit of like skipping an area. For instance, do you know on the Delos landing chapter where there's that annoying gear room puzzle? Well, there's a way to just skip that puzzle, and I definitely would recommend that you do that, because it's I personally hate that puzzle. So when I saw that you were able to do that, I will be skipping that puzzle in this walkthrough. I'm bringing you a lot of skips that I've seen from online folks that were just tinkering with the game and found all these things on different videos. I don't always do it, but some of the times when I can use it to skip a cutscene that I would edit out anyway, or just do a nifty shortcut, I'll use that combination, and I reference it again throughout the walkthrough. But you might try practicing it, because Kratos jumps a really high amount, and it's very useful. So I hope that answered your questions. Again, circle, square for the shield valor, and circle, triangle for the shield plume. And like all things in God of War with respect to moves, these ones can be wrung out. See, I don't understand this. There's 3 Manticore babes over here. These ones can be wrung out. Why didn't it work like this on the other fight? It's just inconsistent, and I would much prefer. That's how it should have been on the previous fight with them. You should have been able to kick the fucking dogs off and everything. Those are the moves. And oh, I also okay, now there's just one thing left, but I think that we can maybe wait to talk about it in other videos because there's just one encounter left and it's not a very long one. I was just gonna, there's a talking point that Big V and I were discussing on his channel just related to the fact that the T attack in this game is not beholden to the S button to come off more quickly. Do you remember in the old God of War, I think just God of War 1 and 2, and maybe, Chains of Olympus 2, I think, where if you just wanted to press the triangle button, he would do a slow, very slow process of doing it, but if you pressed S and then T, it would give you the damage of having an S with it too, and also the T would come out much quicker. In this game though, as with God of War 3 and Ghost of Sparta, that is no longer necessary. You don't need to input an S before the T for the T to come out quickly, because if you just press T in this game, it comes out quickly anyway. That's how it worked on God of War 3 and also Ghost of Sparta, and that's the way I prefer it actually. So I just wanted to say that the going from S to T, just if you press S and then T quickly, there's no chaining between the two going on there. They're separate. Just wanted to throw that out there. I also wanted to mention that the ice caverns, it starts at the end of the previous fight down in the other area, but I wanted to end my video right over here. And at the beginning of this video, like a minute into it, you're going to see this ridiculous thing that occurs in this game where you take mandatory damage because of a glitch with this game. This glitchy game, I tell you. I will see you in Chapter 9. Please take care.